This podcast is a fictional educational interview based on Ashton Kutcher's Rio 2017 testimony to Congress. His responses are paraphrased for the purpose of this project. Welcome back, guys. Today's episode is about a speech that moved beyond politics and into real human responsibility. In 2017, actor and activist Ashton Kutcher addressed the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee on human trafficking. Instead of analyzing the speech, I wanted to have him in the podcast today to talk to us a little bit deeper into why he approached this speech the way he did, the way he spoke to them, and how it created a more progress throughout his speech. Before we get into the speech itself, set the scene for us, Ashton. Why was this moment important for you?
At the time, human trafficking was already affecting millions of people worldwide, but it wasn't being treated with urgency. Many still saw it as distant or rare.
Well, according to the International Labor Organization, more than 40 million people were living under modern slavery then. That context alone makes his speech necessary.
Exactly. This wasn't about awareness anymore. It was about responsibility.
You were speaking directly to the U.S. senators, people with real power. How did that shape your approach to them?
You can't attack people you need help from. I wanted them to listen, not defend.
That explains why you opened with gratitude instead of blame, right? You thank them for their leadership and align yourself with their roles.
Respect open doors. Accusations closes them.
Early in the speech, you say, I have been on FBI raids and I have seen things no person should ever see. Why was it important for you to say this early on your speech?
Because I wasn't there as a celebrity. I was there as someone who had seen the reality up close.
That line changes everything. It pulls the audience out of policy language and into real events. Suddenly, this isn't theoretical.
Once people understand it, they can't unsee it.
Your language throughout the speech is very simple and direct. One line that stood out was when you said, the right to pursue happiness is being stripped away from victims. Why praise it like that? Why say it like that to them?
Because the idea is at the core of the American identity. If we believe in those values, we have to defend them for everyone.
That reference to the Declaration of Independence does a lot of work. It connects human trafficking to national values without having a long explanation. You also talk a lot about technology, how it's used both ways to explode and to rescue. Why include that in your speech?
Because the problem and the solution exists in the same space. If technology can be used to harm, it can also be used to protect.
What I like about that is that you support that with data. Mentioning that Thorn, your website, has helped identify over 6,000 victims. That balance of emotion and numbers builds responsibility.
Emotion gets attention. Data keeps it.
One thing that really stands out in your delivery, you pause a lot, especially when you talk about children. Why is that?
Some moments do need more words. Silence lets people process what they're hearing.
Those pauses feel intentional. The emotion feels earned and forced and not forced. Looking back, the speech was impactful, but it wasn't perfect. You didn't outline or mention any specific legislation in detail. Instead, the focus stayed on urgency, awareness, and support. But that choice makes sense given the scenario, the setting.
The goal was movement, not micromanagement.
This speech matters because it shows how effective public speaking really looks like. It matches the audience. It balances emotion with evidence. It uses language and delivery intentionally. Most importantly, it reminds us that public speaking isn't about impressive. It's about making people with power listen and making us care.
Victims in India. I've met victims from Mexico, victims in New York and New Jersey and all across our country. I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being raped by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned that she thought she was engaging in play. We had received a call from the Department of Homeland Security telling us that a 7-year-old girl was being sexually abused and that content was being spread around the dark web and they could not find the perpetrator, asking us for help. We were the last line of defense. An actor and his foundation were the potential last line of defense. That's my day job, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Ashton Kutcher, for being here for us and making these ideas clear for us. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys next episode. Thank you so much for watching.